CLPP offers people the opportunity to realize how the various issues they're passionate about intersect and understand how to actually do something with them. Student group is one of those opportunities.
As the student group coordinators, we're in charge of facilitating bi-weekly meetings and activism opportunities in the fall and weekly meetings in the spring for conference season.
In addition to our regular meetings, during the spring semester, student group is in charge of planning and coordinating various parts of the conference that make it the amazing experience it is. CLPP students organize the Abortion Speakout, plan the entertainment for the weekend, organize and staff free weekend-long childcare.
They also work incredibly hard to ensure that all of the spaces and workshops are accessible, organize outreach for the conference, and provide support and hospitality services for conference goers.
When student group isn't planning conference, we're dedicated to furthering our understanding of reproductive justice.
The members of student group are brilliant, authentic, loving, impassioned individuals who have time and time again demonstrated their commitment to learning, growing, and doing.
Please welcome to the stage student group members Chichetti and Sofía Monterroso.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sarah. I am so happy to be here at the 35th anniversary CLPP conference, to be a part of the CLPP student group, and I'm honored to stand up here where so many amazing activists and human beings are sharing their work and their wisdom. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Alice Walker. Storytelling, you know, has a real function. The process of the storytelling is itself a healing process. Partly because you have someone there who is taking the time to tell you a story that has great meaning to them. They're taking the time to do this because your life could use some help, but they don't want to come over and just give advice. They want to give it to you in a form that becomes inseparable from your whole self. That's what stories do. Stories differ from advice in that once you get them, they become a fabric of your whole soul. That is why they heal you. I would like to just recognize every individual here who is helping this movement. I'm a fan of recognizing the personal within the political, giving space for those voices that need to be heard and the personal experiences that shape this movement. Voice, found in personal narrative, storytelling, poetry, and other forms of art, is an aspect of social justice movements that I feel deeply connected to and believe is one of our most powerful tools for change. I began to realize the power of personal narrative in my second year here at Hampshire College while organizing my first speak out during Sexual Assault Activism Month. The sense of purpose I felt helping fellow survivors speak their truths was astounding. I was moved by how the voices of each speaker, not adhering to any rhetoric of societal survivor expectations, were able to craft the space as the speak out progressed. For the 2016 CLPP conference, as co-chair of the Abortion Speakout Committee, I have again found deep gratitude for the power of personal narrative in the form of a speakout. I would like to take this moment to thank every person who shared their experiences with us last night at the Abortion Speakout, allowing their stories to ring true in the face of a deeply polarized and politicized conversation. Personal narrative, or speaking one's truth, is both a political and a personal act. It is the process of naming oneself and one's own story, of making oneself visible in places where certain people are most often rendered invisible. The CLPP conference addresses the politics of visibility and mattering. We seek to create a space and a movement that is able to hold every single story. This process has been vital to my academic work, organizing, and personal life. I have often struggled to find a personal connection to the theories and histories I am so passionate about, keeping theory in a completely different space from personal narrative. Understanding that personal experiences are what drive the theories we are learning and relearning at school and throughout our lives, while theory is what helps support our own narratives so that they can become a part of something greater, has been a real learning process for me. It has taken time for me to understand that my mother's resilience and my grandmother's immigration story inform not only my personal life, but my politics as well. I am passionate about speakouts as a form of activism and a proud member of CLPP, not by chance, but because every part of me is fueled by my story and my experiences. I have found my mother's resilience and my grandmother's vitality in myself as I have faced challenges I never expected to face. It has been a slow process accessing the strengths that I know I have in me to put my personal narrative and the politics I study, organize in, and feel strongly about into conversation. This process of putting collective knowledge in conversation with personal narrative is something that I see so strongly in the movement and am proud to be a part of. While in a workshop about sex work and reproductive justice at last year's CLPP conference, I saw firsthand the way experiential knowledge was used to help mobilize this movement. It was led by former sex workers who talk not only about policies and theories, but about their own experiences. I am so happy to be in a space and a movement that fosters conversations and values the personal within the political. In doing so, I feel that it honors the voices that really need to be heard and the stories that need to be told. And so in order to continue hearing the voices of incredible people like Sofia, I end with the words of Gloria Anzaldúa, "Do work that matters, vale la pena."
Hi, good morning. My name is Sofía Monterroso, and I also believe in storytelling and healing, so I'm going to tell you the story of how I got here. I am the daughter of a Guatemalan public health specialist and an American nurse midwife, two people who taught me, through example more than anything, that worthwhile pursuits are those that center the human experience. With their example, and I admit, a little bit of my own idealism, I arrived at Mount Holyoke College ready to single-handedly change the world. That first year was a rough one, as I experienced traumas that I am still grappling with today. This didn't deter my determination to single-handedly change the world, however. If anything, it intensified it. In pursuit of healing, I took up social justice work with a newfound intensity and took to a definition of activism that required being bionic and bulletproof, or at least appearing to be. By my second year, I was burnt out before I even set foot on campus. The thought of doing activism filled me with dread. I was exhausted. When you're counting on being unbreakable to get you through the wake of trauma, the realization that you are human is a difficult one. I felt hollowed and small and overwhelmingly alone. I felt like I was failing. If I wasn't consciously moving against the diseases of the world in each of my days, how could I justify my space in the world? This is how I arrived at CLPP student group last fall, utterly disheartened. At that first session, they passed around programs from the previous year's conference. I remember power walking back to the bus stop with that thing clutched between my hands and a huge grin on my face. I had pored over the workshop descriptions, hardly believing my eyes, the words jumping out at me, words like race, religion, adoption, consent, land, queer, trans, safety, immigration. That is the day I realized that reproductive justice was, in fact, everything. Yes. I don't know what was more comforting, the fact that there were others who cared, or the fact that they were doing such a damn good job at it. The joy I felt was one of relief. Coming to reproductive justice has been, for me, coming to community. It's been a shout and sometimes a whisper of "you are not alone." CLPP fed me and taught me things and let me lay low until I was ready. CLPP gave me a place to rest my weary heart. Thank you, CLPP, for letting me sit quietly in your corners while I waited for the storm to pass. Thank you for letting me practice my listening. Thank you for letting me not be a leader. Thank you for bringing me people who will illegally photocopy vulva coloring books for me when things are scary. That's like a real thing that happened. Thank you for being a placeholder in my wallet for my real activist card while I figured things out and took care of myself and found my way back. Thank you for teaching me that a real activist card is a totally whack concept and that activism is a word I can apply to something as simple as being respectful and kind to my girlfriend. Thank you for giving me these baby steps, this conference, this speech, my place at the support team, and saving them for now when I'm ready. You have assumed nothing of me and given me so much. I am grateful. I am humbled. I am restored. And this is just my beginning. Thank you.